based on our polarizing political climate that we're in.
Yeah.
So, question for you: how would you like to live in so-called Purpleville? Our real estate guru, Marc Lawrence, here to talk about that. First of all, when we say Purpleville, what are we talking about?
Is that an actual city, Purpleville?
I don't know if there's a Purpleville. That's a good question. Maybe a lavender, or but when they talk about purple, obviously we talk about the red. See you in beautiful red today. Blue cities. People moving to red counties where it's more conservative viewpoints. So, what is a purple city? Purple city is a city that's kind of very mixed.
Yeah.
Like here on Connecting America, where we share viewpoints of both sides. Purple cities are places where not everybody's on one side of the aisle or the other side of the aisle. You get a mixed viewpoint.
So, what are some of those cities where people might want to look to move if they're sick of
A silo.
polarizing, living in a silo?
Yeah, they're definitely attracting people because of that. Of course, tied into that is affordability, cost of living, which plays a big factor in that. But some of those, cities are good examples. Are some of the southern cities that were traditionally conservative, like Atlanta, the suburbs of Atlanta, outside of the city. Raleigh-Durham, which was a traditional southern city, now seeing an influx of a lot of students and tech professionals, which are adding, to the traditional conservative base. So that those are two good examples. Denver, Colorado is another one that's similar in that regard. So usually you look at what was and now see some of the migration trends in, and that leads to that mix of those type of purple cities where you get different viewpoints.
During the last election, I was actually sent to Door County, which is claimed to be the most purple county in the country. Wisconsin. Thank you. Yeah, Wisconsin, because they had voted for Obama, then Trump, then Biden, then Trump. So they would vote with whoever won. And I talked to folks on the ground there. I said, how do you live with people that think differently than you? And it's so sad we even have to ask the question. And they said, you know what? We focus on our day-to-day life, our family. We look for the connections in others. Do you see that as a commonality in these purple cities? It's not hyper political. It's let's focus on living.
I mean, I think, when you wake up in the morning, you spend time with your family, your friends, your coworkers, and how much that comes into the workplace, is a factor. Obviously, the workplace is not necessarily the place where you choose, the people who you're with. You end up with them, they become friends, but having those people with those similar viewpoints definitely makes it easier. And how much they bring into the workplace and talk about, their viewpoints is a big factor too.
But if people are actually making these moves, if they're considering, okay, I got to get out of where I am. I mean, this is a statement on how we're feeling, whether we're feeling comfortable in our home environment, in our cities where we're living. Yeah. That's a big step to say, I'm out of here. I'm moving.
Yeah, to pack up your your belongings and your family and place that you've been for a long time. That's a major decision. I mean, I know we've seen a lot of articles, New York City mayor election that's coming up, and how that may affect. I think Governor DeSantis in Florida a few times has put out the Realtor of the Year is could be Mamdani if he wins the mayoral election in New York City.
So, implying that people are going to leave New York and move down to Florida.
Exactly, he's put that out twice now, saying
we have yet to see whether that's in fact what's going to happen. But
I think he's politicking, call it, but it's an interesting thought that, and to our original point that political views do sometimes play a point in migration trends.
So we see a lot of folks. I lived in Texas for years, and we saw a lot of folks from California moving there, people that didn't like classically liberal laws in states coming to Texas for that reason. It was really interesting. Texans weren't the most hospitable to those Californians coming in. I now have property in Colorado.
Right.
So there's an exception there, the Colorado exception, folks that are moving there. What makes it different for who's moving there and the demographics?
Yeah, that's an interesting point that you bring up. So since 2020, 3.7 million people have migrated from traditional Democrat cities to Republican red counties. And And the one outlier of the 10 states that's seen the biggest migration trends inward, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee have all seen an influx of people coming. The one state in the top 10 is Colorado, actually. So Colorado, although being traditionally a more Democrat, blue leaning state, Colorado has seen an influx of people, and 40% of those people actually are highly educated that are coming in or have a high education degree. 27% of them are remote workers. So, and Colorado just has outdoor beauty lifestyle that attracts a lot of people.
Yeah, obviously, if you're going to pick up and move, a lot depends on your employment situation and how much flexibility you have to maybe work remotely or find a job in that state or that city where you desire to move.
Right. And Colorado being a place, that is attracting a lot of remote workers.
All right. A really fascinating trend, seeing folks literally packing up and moving because of politics.
It's a statement on our times.
Yeah, it really is.
Marc Lawrence, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.